everyone, and welcome to Cineful Gaming. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Try and remove that blinding light from everyone, so you can all see what's happening. That is my little light. So I have a better view. Hope you're all doing well. We've rearranged the hobby room. That's why the cabinet is empty, because hobby room got rearranged maybe a few minutes ago. And now I'm trying to find a paint so we can get painting my first little Conquest the Last Argument of Kings models. I've got some Nords here I'm going to be painting up today. Thunderhawk Blue. Where is my Rust Grey? Fan Racing Grey. Can't find the colour I want. Base coat with though. Sort of green. Rust Grey. It was still in the drawer. Righty. Now that's sorted. We can get to some hobbying. So how is everyone this evening? Hope you're all doing grand. For me in Australia, it is currently 8 p.m. New Year's Eve. So 4 hours until the new year is officially here. If you're joining us, let us know what hobby you're working on. Love to hear from everyone on what they're all doing. But we're just going to start with some Rust Grey and get down the base coat on these Nords. And hello, Nixottle and Revenant. I see you are both there. Hope you are doing well. Jim, hello. Jim, hello. We have some Nords, the Stalkers from the Nords in Conquest the Last Argument of Kings on the paint desk today. Conquest is definitely a game that I'm really excited to show off on the channel in the new year. Revan, sounds good, mate. I'll be here for quite a few hours still. But yeah, Conquest is a game I'm really happy to be showing off next year. I've been thoroughly enjoying getting into it and learning more about the game. I really do think it's probably one of my favorite games out at the moment. Yeah, it's been really cool. So next year we hope to be showing off quite a few more new games for everyone. I've got Marvel Crisis Protocol. Obviously, we'll continue to show off Elder Scrolls: A Call to Arms, which we've already been doing. So really enjoy that game. hope your day goes nice and quick for you, Revan, so you can get home and enjoy your own New Year's Eve, buddy. Yeah, I've been really enjoying getting into other games, and the channel will definitely be continuing to explore other new game systems in the new year. I expect to see just more and more new games coming out. Yeah, really looking forward to getting some more hobby done and more stuff showing up on the channel. But anyway, what have been everyone's, I guess, hobby achievements this year? How has everyone gone? Did you have any New Year's resolutions and stuff last year that you actually managed to complete? Because I know I failed, I reckon, at my one. Maybe. I don't know. Because my big one last year was I wanted to paint more stuff than I bought. Now, does Conquest count because I got given it by Parabellum? Parabellum sent me a lot of this stuff. Ronya, J. Durthu, hello to you both. It's not Happy New Year just yet for me. I've got another, just under 4 hours. In Futureland. Oh, that's great, Revan. I'm glad to hear your battle forces arrive, buddy. You're not completely past land. You're sort of in the middle land to me and the United States. If you're in Europe. Yeah, because my big hobby goal this year was to paint more than I bought, and I don't know whether I actually failed or not. I bought one of every Lumineth box, right? Dominion can just get written off because I've painted my Dominion set, so that whole release I don't have to worry about. And so I bought everything Lumineth that came out. I really think that bought some Conquest, bought Marvel, but I've painted a lot. So I painted a Space Marine Force, I painted Necrons, I painted my Wood Elves, I painted the 60 Stormcast. Wow, that was this year. I painted the 60 Liberators this year. It does not seem like that was done this year. This year has just Does not seem like I did that. So I actually think I beat my goal because I painted my Hallowed Heart stuff, painted my Necrons, painted my Space Marines, painted my Beastclaw Raiders, painted my Dominion set, painted the Liberators army, painted my Wanderers. Is there anything else I painted? Oh, I painted all the Elder Scrolls I've bought except 5 models I've painted. So yeah, I reckon I actually beat my hobby goal, which was to paint more than I bought. So I actually think I achieved it. I'm pretty sure you've shared your Biracanum in the chat. I also did reach my goal of a model every day. So I painted over 365 minis this year. Let's have a quick little count. Let's see. What did we get to? So let's think. What did we paint this year? So let's see. How many models did we end up painting this year? So we had the 60 Liberator Army, which had 10 Free Good Guard, the 9 K-Knight Shadowstalkers, 12 Gryph-hounds, 3 characters plus their 3 Gryph-hounds. Plus 6 Aether Wings that were in that list as well. So 103 models in that first army. Plus, then we painted the Wanderers, which had 50 Wildwood Rangers plus 20 Eternal Guard plus 10 Wild Riders plus 3 characters plus the 2 Tree Lords. That takes us to 188 after that army. Then we painted our 4 big monsters, 4 Mournfang for Beastclaw. We then painted our... so for the Cities of Sigmar army, I painted up my Steam Tank plus my Hurricanum. I didn't finish the Luminarch, so we won't count that. But then we painted Dominions that had, and plus the extra, I guess, half Dominion I got from Bob. So 20 Gut Rippers plus 40 Hoggrots plus 2 of the boss plus 4 models for the bosses with Stabgrots plus 2 for the Shaman and Potgrot plus Belcher Banner plus 6 Bolt Boys. Then Dominion plus 10 plus 2 plus 2 for all the characters in the Gryph-hound plus Yndrasta plus the Annihilators and Protector Duty thingies, whatever they're called. And then we also did plus 10 plus 7 plus 1 for my Elder Scrolls minis that we painted up this year. And then I painted all the Rings army. So, how many models do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6 characters plus 9 pikes plus 30 other units. Plus the Indominus Space Marine. So what's that? That's 1, 2, 3. Plus 10 plus 5. 300. And then Necrons on top. So we got 1, 2, 3. So we got 4 of the big dudes, the other big dude, the other machine thing, Warden, King, other character, plus 20 Necron Warriors, plus 6 thingies, Scarab Swarms, plus 5 Death Marks on top. I think that's everything we painted this year, at least. Don't think there's anything else. So that's 415 minis painted this year. Pretty happy with that effort. Oh, plus Eldrad. 416. 416 minis painted this year. I think we can be pretty happy with that for an effort. And so... So, I do have a hobby goal for next year, and this is massively thanks to our patrons and YouTube members and everyone that watches on YouTube. But next year, I got a nice little announcement for everyone that's watching now. I'll make a proper video on it later, but I'll be able to be taking at some point next year, I'll be taking the channel full time. So sometime next year, I'll be taking the full time, and this will be my full-time job of painting minis, playing games, and doing all this to make all of you happy. A massive thank you to everyone who supports on YouTube members and Patreon. You're definitely that little ticker over the line. To everyone who watches, you've been an amazing help at making this a reality the past year. Dumfries Gamers. Well, I guess if you're not into a game, you definitely should go to the game you like. Let's say, what don't you like about Age of Sigmar? Because the game is not perfect by no reference. Nah, Nick doesn't need to go to bed. Nick's literally the same time zone as me. Yeah, what don't you like about AOS? Because the game is not perfect by no means. I really enjoy it, but it definitely has its issues. And Brent, 5 a.m. in the US, I mean, that's like wake up time with two kids that one's with my age. It's wake up time for when you're a dad of a 2-year-old that's learned how to get out of his cot and comes and wakes you up when he's up and wants to play at 5 a.m. in the morning. Not much you can do at that point. The double turn can be, I guess, disheartening. A good way I like to look up at the double turn. So a good way I like to look at the double turn is never plan to have it ever. That is the single best strategy you can always play with a double turn, is never plan to get it, ever. In 40k, you can have just as bad issues when going second. In an army where half your army could be taken off the table before you get to do anything with it. Both systems are inherently flawed. That is my advice for dealing with it, is never plan to get it, ever. Because not only that, but that means you can be giving it away, and allow, like, the bottom of 5 can be game winning. Having just played a Warhammer Fantasy tournament where it is like I go, you go, going second in that game is amazing, because it's just like, cool, I'm going to At the bottom of the turns, I always I was winning some of those games based on the fact, well, I'm going second and you need kill points. You can't charge me this turn, and I'll just block off charges and just purposely not charge in my turn. In 40k, not as much. Not because the game is such high-powered shooting. There's lots of statistics in even Games Workshop is published showing that turn one does win more, like about a third more games than anything than going the other way and going second, because Alpha Strikes in 40k are much more lethal. Because the thing in 40k, like while the scoring system I really like, because you have to stay on them, what it allows you to do is it allows you to score earlier, and you're able to dictate how the scoring goes in 40k because you can remove the pieces of your opponents that can counter what you put onto objectives. Brent, I am paying some Conquest. The last argument of Kings, I have some Stalkers from the Nords range from the company. Some really cool minis. Been quite in love with the Conquest Last Argument of Kings game. I can't wait to get some back reps on the channel and start showing the game off some more to people. I've got to tidy up the games room a little bit now because I've moved a whole bunch of stuff around to rearrange the desk so it's like now packed into the corner. But really quite happy with how this sort of opens up my room a little bit more. It's been an absolute scorcher here today as well. We had, 41 degree top, I think, or something like that. And the Celsius, that is a hot. Now we just need some Agrax Earthshade, if I can find it. Up in this one somewhere. And see. Found it. Come on, guys. It's great. Well, Ron, you could order direct from Parabellum and use the discount code, which will help the channel give you 10% off all your models. We have an affiliate link. Revan, I have no idea what that song is, buddy. So probably not. I believe they have both European and American warehouses because they have available. Yeah, I can order from either warehouse in Australia. So you can order in euros. So it'll give you a 10% discount off euro. I believe the company's actually in Greece. I might be wrong, but I think that's right. Yeah, every time you use the affiliate code, it gives us sort of a little bonus and allows us to get more conquests for the channel. The more people use it, the more they support us. Or additionally support us, I should say, because they already support us quite well. All these Nords I'm painting up tonight, they sent out to the channel to get us on our way and kickstarted, showing off some games. So they're really great working with them. Yeah, make no mistake, it's not too bad. We're used to the heat. It is not like over 40. That's when it really becomes unbearable. When you start getting up to like 45 and closer to like 50 degrees. That's when it gets real hot. That sucks, John. I am sorry to hear. I've been having I had to spray prime these today, and to get it done in so 45 degrees Celsius is 113 degrees Fahrenheit. In your American units. Like we will regularly during summer in South Australia where I am, we will have weeks. 45 degrees Celsius is 113 degrees Fahrenheit. We will have weeks of that here. Like back to back to back. South Australia, where I live, is the driest and hottest state in Australia. Yeah, like Australia is, and it's like dry hot as well when it's hot here. You have a wind that like burns. Yeah, so today was. So we were 41 today, so today was 106 Fahrenheit in Australia. And it is currently at 9 o'clock, at 8:30 p.m. At like 8:30 at night, it is still 99 Fahrenheit. It is 8:30 at night. When it gets hot here. So now we're just putting a wash down on all the cloth. There is a reason that Australia is why the world has air conditioners and refrigerators. Go get all got started, Ronya. Although food is good. We ordered from a nice burger bar for lunch today that's open up near me. It's like a Philly style American burger bar. Not really in Australia. I guess like in Australia, it's probably like a barbecue. It's like probably the traditional sort of thing to have on New Year's. Australia's tradition would certainly be just getting drunk. I don't drink, so I'm definitely not doing anything traditional in Australia. But normally a barbecue would be how you would celebrate New Year's. But current times around the world, I just prefer staying home a little bit at the moment. Yeah, or like we still have like leftover Christmas ham. Had that on some ham and cheese toasties today. Nice. You know, we just got to buy our Christmas ham from the local butcher. Yeah, no, Santa totally changes into like some budgie smugglers, and he has a. I mean, the old tale you get told as kids is the reindeers can't handle the heat down here, so Santa has 6 white boomers, snow white boomers. There's a song that we sing as kids about it, and so boomers are kangaroos down here. Not the boomer that the internet might be thinking of. So yeah, we have like a. I'm sure you can go find it on like YouTube or something. It's an old Christmas story we would have down, Christmas song we sing down here, called 6 White Boomers. White kangaroos being albino kangaroo, like being like snowy looking kangaroos. Unless they're an albino, they're not white, and even then, albino kangaroos are like more grey than white. Come to think of that, I was watching a really good. Me and the wife normally watch Christmas movies. Me and the wife normally watch some Christmas movies over Christmas. Has anyone else seen After Christmas? I saw that for the first time this Christmas, and I really enjoyed it. If you want a good Christmas movie, I recommend After Christmas. It was good fun. And Dolph's wife, she loves Christmas. Yeah, well, it changes your thoughts on Christmas after you have kids. Their smiles on Christmas is the best thing in the world. Brent totally just went and Brent just went and found the song. Ah, man. Appreciate that you went and actually looked up the song just so you knew what I was talking about. It's catchy. It'll be stuck in your head for ages, dude. Every Christmas, and I'm pretty sure you're going to get stuck in my head now. Yeah, the one thing I do enjoy about Conquest is the size of these minis. They're actually in a 38mm scale, so wait a sec. Got something here. So this is a Putrid Blacking, your average sort of Stormcast size dude. These are your basic troopers in the game. So you can see that almost the exact same size as a Putrid Blacking, if not a little bit taller. And this is one of the monsters. These are the average size of monsters in Parabellum's games. And there's a Blacking there on its base. There are pretty chunky boys. This is like my unit of Stalkers here I've got to paint. I've then got a Fenrir Beast Pack. Which are these cool, like, weird doggos. So we got them. Then we got some Uga as well, which are these cool, like, ogres. Yeah, the monsters are, like, big. It's nice having, like, a different scale. Oh, I totally missed one of my dudes, so I've got to base coat this dude up. Totally missed one. Yeah, it's nice just having like a different scale game. Jotnar is cool. I want to get the Frost one as well. So this is the Mountain Jotnar, Mountain Giant, and they've got a couple. They've got the Frost one out as well, and they're doing an Ocean one as well. So I think what I have here is about 500 points. So normally a game how the army list work in it is you have a character and then he has a retinue over 1 to 4 units. And normally an average 2K game, which they sort of say is the average game size, is about 3 to 4 characters and retinues. So you would have about, I guess, 4 times what I had there. Would be a 2K game. So double this is probably 1,000. This is one of the starter boxes. So like 2 of these would easily get you 1,000 points, and you'd spend about $400. It's probably maybe about $400 to $500 cheaper than a Warhammer army to get a full Conquest army on the table. Probably to make a more competitive Conquest army, like a more specialized army, you're probably paying the same as a baseline like Warhammer army buying the cheap way into an army. I will say, like, my Christmas, not this year, last year, was not particularly good. I was having a lot of mental health issues and just wasn't really, had a pretty bad day last Christmas. But that was a big reason why we wanted to stay home. This one was just so we could all enjoy, but mostly like my daughter, because she's autistic. She likes being in her own area, and when like you have very overstimulating days like Christmas, it's just better for her. James, Marketplace certainly is. Marketplace certainly is a great place to get cheap Warhammer. We'll definitely say that. Conquest definitely is nowhere near as big, but it's growing, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I will type. So when you go to your checkout, you just got to put in the discount code. So if you put in that discount code, I just typed in there on it. When you buy it, you will get 10% off if you do, and it will help support the channel. So yeah, make no mistake, like Parabellum sent me out the Conquest minis. I'm playing Conquest because I contacted them. I already bought a starter box, and then they sent me out some more stuff to show off. But I do really enjoy the game. I do have a carrier army I've got to paint up. Free stuff is always the best stuff, but yeah, they've been great at helping out the channel. Just having a look. Where exactly is skin and where is cloth on these Uga? it is always good to have something to motivate you to get hobby done. We'll definitely get you around for some games on the channel sometime soon, Nick. Probably next week sometime. So, Brent, Conquest First Blood. So, the cool thing about Conquest, First Blood is skirmish style. So, what's cool about it, though, is, I guess, unlike, say, Warcry and Age of Sigmar, Conquest First Blood is exactly the same rule set. It uses the same special rules. It uses the same, like, scrolls or war scrolls or stat lines, whatever you want to call them. It just has a slightly different way on how you approach army building and putting those units on the table that changes up how it works, and formations, because obviously in mass battle conquest, in Conquest Last Argument, you play on these movement trays, similar to like Song of Ice and Fire or War of the Ring if you've seen them, where this is called a stand, and you buy models in like stands. So you would have 4 of these dudes sitting there like that. Where in First Blood, everything is played on like skirmish, where much the same as like Star Wars Legion, where you have a leader of a unit sit down, and then everyone has to deploy within a certain distance of the unit when they finish their moves. But yeah, they're exactly the same system. They use the same rules, the same stat lines, all of that stuff, which is really cool. So it means like you can get into First Blood really easy, and then get into Conquest fully after that. That's what I think is one of the great things they've done. Because it is one of the issues of like getting someone in with Warcry. Warcry is very different to Age of Sigmar. And like kill teams are a little bit closer to 40k than Warcry is to Age of Sigmar. But even then, so there's still a lot of stuff to learn in 40k that you don't learn in Warcry, that you don't learn in kill team. There's definitely a big thing of that. They've made the 2 games. They've made the smaller game very accessible, easy to learn. Yeah, it's really good for like when you consider. I guess that was one of Fantasy's biggest issues as a game. Is that it's so hard. Like, yeah, it's cool with like Warcry and all that, but to get them into your main game, yeah, I think it's a really smart choice on how they've chosen to do that. Kill Team is great. Like, make no mistake, I love Kill Team as a game. I love Warcry as a game. Warcry is probably my favorite Games Workshop game. I would say I really love Warcry, but they are not direct gateways, rules-wise, into the other games. If that makes sense. Ronya, Spires are really, really cool. I'll say that's one of the big things that's hooked me about Conquest is the narrative of the world. A big thing for me is finding a game that I like the narrative of. It's a big reason why I like Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, because, you know, Skyrim has such amazing narrative to it, so that's what makes Call to Arms so great. Is that it's got that Elder Scrolls narrative, which is already fantastic. And then it's a good game on top of that, don't like make no mistake, but that narrative drives it for me. Conquest narrative is really well fleshed out. They've really thought about it well. I do enjoy it quite a bit. Now, so Spires, let's talk about them. So the Spires are an alien race that's actually come to the planet of Ea, which is Conquest World. And they were there, first of all, studying. They're like masters of like biomancy, fleshcraft, and all of that. And something happened on their world, and they sealed off the pathway back to their own world. They can't get back. The Spires are trapped on Ea. They're this alien race. They're probably all that's left of their own race as well. We don't know if that's like an interesting thing about it. We don't know whether they are, in fact, the only ones left of their race. But we do. But yeah, spires are really, really cool. And so, yeah, the law for them is that they're actually there. They're going to touch a whole... and so, Ronya, we'll talk about spiders because they're not all guys. The faction themselves aren't actually any gender. So how it works is the spiders are like this alien race. And so the actual models you see on the table are not spires. They are flesh golems the spires have created to go out and fight for them. So the spires are like the elves of the set in this incredibly ancient living race that's masters of everything they do. The spires are not like so the spires are an elf army with 0 elves in them. If that makes sense. So they create all these flesh golems. They like literally their baseline unit is called force grown drones, and they literally force grow these creatures to go fight for them. And some of the more, I guess, noble spires, instead of going to battle themselves, will like make these avatars for themselves and go to battle because there's so few of them. But yeah, they're also responsible for 90% of the problems on here. So the Nords, who I'm painting here, were a race of like barbaric humans living in the frozen north. So, you know, standard sort of Norse stuff there. And then what happened is the spires came along. Conquest has a really simple rule set, John. But anyway, I'll finish this point and then we'll get into talking about rules for Conquest. So the Nords were this ancient race, and eventually there came a time where the gods visited them. I'll tell the Nord story. The gods came and visited them and promised that Ragnarok one day would come, and they would need to send their finest warriors to Valhalla to protect their species. Well, Ragnarok came, and it never actually, and their heroes never came back to save them. And so eventually, the heroes eventually awoke later, and that's sort of how we get our Nords today. But the true story is the gods that came to see them and claimed they were taking heroes to Valhalla were actually the spires. They came and they would take these Nords and then they would fleshcraft them into these massive, bulky, monstrous human beings. That's why you see things like all the characters are like these massively buff and overly muscly human characters, because that's what the spires did to them. They created them into these super soldiers. It certainly is a problem, like getting into new games. I will say that, like, Conquest is definitely finding more and more players. And look, worst comes to worst, if you just want a couple of minis to paint, just buy a couple of minis for yourself. Yeah, they're like sort of like a mix of like Drukhari meets Tyrannid. It is a thing with like the games. I mean, I have the benefit of I have a giant games room where I play games and push. I am finding there are a few people that like expanding into other games and like playing more than just Warhammer, which is great. Finding those few in your area that are. See, that's a big reason why I think one of the best games I got into during lockdown was getting into the Elder Scrolls. Because it's a dungeon crawl game, you can play with your friends at home as a part of a board game night and then bring them into the game that way. That's why I like the Elder Scrolls game. Yeah, the solo game's really, really fun. I will have some bat reps up. No, none of the box games are available in Australia. We have had, I think the only one we got was the Warcry, into, what was it? The Warcry Warhammer Underworld's weird one. That sort of cross box thing is the only one we got here. We generally don't get the little side games. The company that works, it doesn't exist in Australia. So, like, Brent, if you want to check out the Elder Scrolls, yeah, maybe that is the one. Maybe that is. But yeah, we generally don't get many of those boxes. Like, there are few and far between of them that we get. And we only get them available from Games Workshop. So if Games Workshop directly isn't selling them, I don't think we don't get them. And yeah, so Brent, on the thing of like Elder Scrolls, a great way to get into it for a board game night. If you grab the starter box, plus the starter faction for Imperials, Stormcloaks, and then the Bleak Fool's Barrow Delve set, you'll have enough to play hours of that game. And you can always grab an adventurer box as well to add additional heroes. But even then, like if you've got those three, you've got three cool heroes to play a campaign with. And Arnold, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the kind little donation. Don't forget, guys, if you are watching, you can be a YouTube member as well for just a couple of bucks a month, and you get some cool emotes when we do the hobby hangouts, which, thanks to the channel, we'll be doing a lot more of in the future. So getting a schedule up with hobby hangouts on the regular. All right, give me a sec. I will write them in the chat. So yeah, the boxes I'll suggest will be a great way. So first of all, it'll do two things. It'll give you hours to play. It'll give you 3 named characters you can play with. So you have the Dragonborn. You'll then get Hadvar and Rayloff, which are, if you play Skyrim, you know, the 2 dudes that you have to choose to go with. At the start of Skyrim, you get those 2 dudes in the starter faction boxes. So yeah, there is. I've written it in the chat there for you, Brent. The core box, so that'll give you your rules, your dice, your tokens, all that sort of stuff you need. And then Imperial and Stormcloak faction starter sets. Now, if you're definitely looking to cheapen up your purchases, they can be the last things you purchase. To get yourself started in the game, the core box and the Bleak Fool's Barrow Delve set will give you enough to play by yourself in a delve mode. So there'll be more than enough to play that in a delve mode by yourself. And you probably just want like some little terrain. Find some walls or something for some terrain. It'd be more than enough. And those two other ones, what's cool about them is you can either use them to play with friends in either a verse mode. So Imperials and Stormcloaks are two factions in the game you can fight. The Draugr are also a faction you can play with. There's rules downloadable for the Draugr. Now, at the moment, and the Dragonborn is part of the adventurers, though he can join any faction he wants that you would think he can. So he can join the Stormcloaks or Imperials, just can't be the leader. And you can also make an adventurer warband with the Dragonborn and then half Stormcloaks, half Imperials. There's some cool things you can do there. But those Stormcloaks and Imperials can also be adversaries. So if you're just playing by yourself, they can be adversary models as well, which is really cool. So you can play like a delve mode where you're going through a Stormcloak camp or something like that, or an Imperial camp and having to fight the Imperials in the delve mode. So you could play with, like, you and a friend could play with the Dragonborn and Rayloff of Riverwood, and then have to go fight Hadvar and the Imperial soldiers in a thing. Nick, thank you very much, mate, for the donation. Absolute champion, man. Yeah, the Skyrim 10th Anniversary Edition, it does look really, really cool. And if you're watching, guys, don't forget to drop a like. It helps people come find us, hobby, and hang out with us all and chat. But yeah, like I was saying, if you're a YouTube member, you also get access to these cool little things. So we've got some channel emojis, and as we get more YouTube members, I'm allowed to put more in. So as they go, we get more and more YouTube members. I can make more and more cool little emojis for everyone to use. Nick is the person you will see come, that's in the chat now. It's the person you'll come and see play some Elder Scrolls Call to Arms with me on the channel a little bit more frequently. No worries, Brent. Have a good night, mate. Oh, Ronya, member for 7 months there, I see. Amazing. Mods are pretty cool, I must say. The dude who runs the Discord is pretty awesome as well. I hear he's like very modest about how cool he is. Hey, Xmorphic, hello, mate. Welcome. How are you, mate? I don't think you two have been on stream yet since I made Nick a mod for the chat. So Xmorphic, Nick, Xmorphic. If you haven't met Xmorphic, he's the dude who does all the amazing background work for the Discord. So absolute legend. Does a ton of like the behind the scenes work there for us. It's an absolute champion. I'm good, man. Painting up some Nords for Conquest. More and more I look at my Nords, I think they're my number one faction. I think they're my favorite faction in Conquest. It is definitely a toss-up between Nords and Wadrun. I may have a couple of games for you to add chat feeds for soon on that Xmorphic. So I'll shoot you a message with that just to make some new chats and some new things to add as the channel has more games to show off. Nice. The sign's getting worked on there. I will be right back in a second, guys. Just got to duck off for a sec. Hey all, sorry about the little delay there. I just had to go help the wife with something. Back now. Oh. Sorry about the little distraction, everyone. So we're going to go with a second coat of rust grey on the big Jotnar. Yeah, hope you're all doing well still, despite my quick little absence there. But yeah, it is hot where we are at the moment, Xmorphic. Really, really hot. Yeah, I'm really tempted to grab some Tau. I love Tau. I think I said that in the last video we put up on like how much I actually like Tau. The little kid with me with Gundam. Xmorphic, I'm painting some Conquest Last Argument of Kings minis from Parabellum War Games. At the moment, I'm painting the Giant Mountain Jotnar. Mountain Giant. I should, but that takes too much time. Conversions take time, and I do not have that sort of time to throw about willy-nilly, unfortunately. I have seen the Zoid minis. My little brother picked up one, and not going to lie, I've been very, very tempted to go and grab some. I don't need to do the Avengers. I have a Marvel Crisis Protocol box set down there. So I will be painting up the Avengers at some point. No worries, Xmorphic. Thank you for dropping by. Emma, Molly Malal, hello. How are you today, mate? Yeah, I've heard so many. I have never heard a bad thing about Marvel Crisis Protocol except for distribution issues, which, if you sort of follow all the stuff, is mostly an issue with the fact that Fantasy Flight Games and Atomic Mass are now sort of the same thing in the same department. That's great to hear, Molly. But yeah, I've heard nothing good but good things. I'm really looking forward to getting that. Also picked up Song of Ice and Fire the other day, if some people saw that as well. So Song of Ice and Fire, I'll be really looking forward to. Oh, I can get rid of that making coffee. I wasn't making coffee. I was helping the wife, but it was the closest banner to what I had. If I do my tower, I was thinking of doing them in like a very... I mean, it's going to be so Cinderful, it's going to be blue, but like doing them in like bright blue and yellow. Like very striking blue and yellow. So now we can actually try out those new brushes I got. So I got some Broken Toad brushes from the wife for Christmas. Yeah, I've heard so many good things about Marvel Crisis. Apparently what's cool is you can pretty much play whatever you want because you can play unaffiliated. So you can, bad guys and good guys can freely mix between bad guys and good guys can freely mix between them. And then you've of course got, I guess, people that fit somewhere in the middle. So you can freely sort of mix, but you don't get any of the bonuses playing like proper teams like Spidey, like Team Spidey or Avengers or the Defenders, Guardians of the Galaxy, etc. will get you certain extra bonuses on top. So it's cool that you can just buy what you want and then sort of see where it fits, but also that you get bonuses. I really like that. I mean, so you can just play with your favorite superheroes. But from what I've seen, I'm probably going to grab some Defenders and some Spidey stuff because that's where Daredevil fits. And Daredevil is my favorite superhero, so... So now we're just going to... layer up all this cloth with some rust grey again, and then we'll highlight it all with some Fenrisian grey. Nice. Oh, itchy back. I do like this new layout for the camera. Oh, nice. Some Malifaux. That's another game of... I can't say I've really looked too much into Malifaux. One of those games that's just never sort of appealed to me in any way. Maybe I'll have to have a relook. Who knows, like, I'm up for trying all sorts of things on the channel. Companies who chat to me get, you know, maybe bumped up the list. I really am liking this new little corner section I've done push the ball out, get a little bit more room in the games room. Thinking I can tidy up and get rid of some other things, and we can sort of organize there. Maybe I'll go have another look at Malifaux. Yeah, it's one of those games that like I've heard plenty of people about. I will have to have a look into it. I mean, look. At the moment, I've got a few games on my to-do list. So games on the to-do list at the moment, obviously you can see I'm doing Conquest. Elder Scrolls has some more minis I've got to get painted up. So they'll take precedence. And then Song of Ice and Fire and Marvel Crisis Protocol and 40k will be the next ones. Conquest is great. I really like the minis. The minis and lore. The lore for Conquest is, I think, one of the best things about it. I think you've got a really well-designed world. Nice. They have some spires to paint up next. So I've got spires and 100 kingdoms left to do after this. For what I have at the moment, I'm probably seeing some Wide Darun come up. Although, as soon as I'm able to get my hands on some of that Old Dominion, boy oh boy, will I be getting Old Dominion. I love those minis. Yeah, the like Byzantine, Roman, undead army, just wow. Yeah, they're amazing. And like Wide Darun, orcs riding dinosaurs. That is, as Doug from 2 Plus Stuff says, that is one of the best sale pictures you'll ever have. Orcs riding dinosaurs. I will say one thing on the dinosaurs I like too. I like that they've gone for the feathered variation of dinosaur as well in Conquest. Not a lot of people do like the feathers on dinosaurs. Which I really do like that. And if you're joining us live and you're not already, why not join us as a YouTube member so you get access to all the cool little emojis? I don't know. Some of the skirmish games I've been playing recently have been a lot more tactical than, say, Warhammer. Age of Sigmar is certainly, I guess, at a competitive state at the moment. I don't think it's very tactical. It is take mortal wounds at range and generally do pretty well. So, like, my games at AOS are certainly fun, but I know a lot of people are not enjoying certain facets of the game at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's the same selling point as Lisman, isn't it? Dinosaurs riding dinosaurs. Something riding dinosaurs. It's a pretty big selling point. But yeah, Conquest itself isn't a skirmish game. It's a mass battle rank and flank game. I've been enjoying playing skirmish games though. Smaller scale, I think they offer something very different on a game front for me. Yeah, I have seen that. I absolutely love. Build some conquest, man. I'm painting conquest. You should build some conquest. I'm looking forward to getting into Kill Team some more. Brute drones, nice. They got some cool new rules of brute drones in the latest update as well, which was nice. Their bravery tests, they suffer lethal wounds when they fail bravery when they fail their morale checks and stuff like that. Ooh, nice. Battleball Kill Team. What chapter are you doing? I think my favorite Battle War chapter. Ooh. Either the Carcharodons or the Mantis Warriors. One of the two. Lament is probably a close third, I think. Yeah, Lamentus sure were. Oh, Road Trader Colors. Exorcists are another cool one. Battle War has so many cool chapters, like the Firehawks. Even the Executioners are there as well. Yeah, the Cursed chapter. I mean, it's sad that they end up dying out. The Lamenters. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so would love to do like a Civil War campaign on the channel with some Space Marine chapters. I think it'd be really, really cool. Something we're going to be working on this year is doing our own narrative campaigns on the channel. So you should see some Path to Glory and other things like that start popping up on the channel this year, which would be great fun. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to do, like my own sort of banner war. So we'll have something. I've got an idea for it. Be like an Imperium Nihilus. Take a bit of a pre-planning. There will be something we'll do on the channel with like bat reps and stuff on the channel. So we'll be making up some chapters and stuff for the channel so we can use our own lore. But it's something I really want to do this year. Not just narrative, but I want to create a channel's narrative. So the armies on our channel will have their own lore and narrative behind them that you can follow along in games with. Got my own Marine chapter to paint up at the moment. I'm doing some Emperor's Spears at the moment. I've got a couple of custom ideas that I want to do. I've done a couple of homebrew Space Marine chapters I'd like to reimagine in Primaris. Unfortunately, we will definitely not be able to join the Bad Kill Team Challenge. But yeah, we will be looking to do something of our own universe on the channel. So we're looking to do that with all the games we do. All right. Some Rhinox hide. Start basing in some of this leather. Yeah, Battle Ball was essentially Forge World's like major 40k project. It's actually following the story of Huron Blackheart. So we're now just starting to base all our leather done. So yeah, I've got an idea for a channel I want to make from the world of Jupiter. A core world chapter. I'm going to call them the Shoemakers. If you get what the Shoemaker reference is, you're a very smart person. It is not about making shoes. Space knowledge for you. Little bit of space info for all of you. So the reason they would be from Jupiter is because they're called the shoemakers, is because Jupiter, there was a comet that came past Jupiter that was first spotted that impacted Jupiter, and yeah, I am pretty happy with the reference. So the only known sighting of a comet or asteroid, much like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, ever recorded was a comet that hit Jupiter and caused massive craters. And it's how we have a lot of information about what happened to the dinosaurs and how the world changed based on how meteors and comets hit Earth. And Shoemaker is the name of a scientist who found the comet, so it was Shoemaker's comet. Eugene Shoemaker. And so that would be why. His ashes are actually upon the moon. I'm quite happy with that reference. But yeah, terrible, James. Absolutely terrible. But yeah, that would be why we would have the shoemakers. Conquest minis do build really nice ammo molly, don't they? What are you building at the moment? Oh, you're building the brute drones, aren't you, Molly? They did go together so easy. Nice. Nice. You want to lean into like the body horror sort of working stuff on them? Give me 1 sec. I gotta check something. There's been a COVID outbreak at somewhere I was. 've got to check with my last shift. I might have just become a close contact. I've got to check with my shift work because I definitely went in there to grab something that day. Uh, 26. Oh, gee. No, it's all good. I wasn't in there at the time. Cool. Cool. It's until 12 p.m. on the day of it. I went there in the afternoon. All good. Yeah, that was a late one. I totally went to that store. But no, we are all good. Trying to find a way to get my light working a little better for me. All right. Well, that's all good. I'm not a close contact. It was not in the store. Worrying for a second there. I was going to get days off the day job. Yeah, no, that's definitely a positive that I do not have to worry about going and getting tests and stuff. So that's definitely a positive. I don't think we're going to get many fireworks for New Year's Eve here in SA. It is way too hot. I'm pretty sure they actually put out a fire ban today. So if someone does put fireworks, the cops will soon be after them. Unfortunate part, no fireworks because it is incredibly hot, and that is super dangerous in a very dry area to be using fireworks. If you do use fireworks in South Australia tonight, you are a moron. Incredibly hot here today and super dry. Worst sort of weather to be using them in. So we're just slowly base coating all my leather. So we'll base coat it all in the same brown. Oh, joyful, James. There'll be morons. I can guarantee there'll be morons doing fireworks, like illegal fireworks everywhere here. So I don't know about, I know certain states in America, like some are illegal, some are not. You're allowed to have them at certain times of the year and all that sort of stuff. But in Australia, fireworks are completely illegal, every state, unless you've got a registered event to host them at. It's illegal to have them. If it gets put in a paddy wagon, though, dude, that's serious. That means the cops don't feel safe enough sitting next to him. Is they've gone there with the intent to arrest him. Yeah. Yeah, could you go? I was going to say, like, 4th of July is like all about like heaps of big firework displays. Don't mind these broken toed brushes; they're quite nice. Fair enough. I mean, I love a good fireworks display. It's just, yeah, weather like we have today in South Australia is not responsible to be using them. Nice. First brute, all nice and built. Fireworks for us over here is a very sporty thing. By New Year's, like sports are the big time when we have like firework displays. No worries, James. Go or look after your doggos. WA, do you mean Western Australia or is WA a state in America as well? Oh, Western. No, I am not from WA. James is from Victoria. No one in the chat that I know is WA. Dancing band? Do you mean like dancing bands? That was in Australia for a lot. I'll be back in 2 seconds, everyone. I'm sitting down for too long. Stretch my legs for a sec, and then we'll get back to some painting. Alrighty, we're back. Here's a state in America too. What is WA in America? Like state-wise. Ah, that's better. Now I got small. What state is WA in America? I can't put my hand on which one that would be. WA. Okay. Yeah. No, makes sense now. I think Washington. I was like, yeah, it makes sense as soon as you say it. It's just like, I'm like, I know the ones that are A. It's like, I'm like, but there's no West Arizona. No, Washington D.C. is a state in New York. Sorry, Washington D.C. is the capital of America, and that's in New York State, or just below it. It's on that border. It's on that side, isn't it? And then Washington, the state, is the one in the top north, where Seattle is the capital. Am I correct? No? I'm wrong. Isn't Washington State the one with Seattle in it? Or is Seattle in a different state? Or is it on? I could have sworn Washington, D.C. was on. Ah, D.C. is its own thing. Okay. Learning things here. Yeah, cool. I got that. I only know that because I go for Seattle Seahawks. It's a city and district, but not in any state. Okay. So that's much like how we have Canberra over here, which is Australian Capital Territory, which is just like this little thing in the middle of New South Wales that is actually our capital. Very similar then. Canberra is interesting because Canberra exists in Australia, right? So originally, when they tried to make the capital, both Melbourne and Sydney were fighting over who could be the capital. Because at the time, they were the two largest states. Queensland was nowhere near as big as it is, neither was Perth. So none of them really had a say. And South Australia's never been the biggest. And so Melbourne and Sydney were fighting over who got to be the capital. So it went to a vote, and all the other states were like, well, you can't make up your mind, so nobody gets it. We're going to make this own territory, and it's going to be called Canberra, and that's going to be the capital. Wait, what? So why is the White House the White House? Canada? Okay, I'm interested in this history lesson here. Teach me. I am intrigued. Wait, what? Okay, so I'm guessing it's a war that America lost, hence why America doesn't teach it. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna have to go read on this. Repainted it white to hide all the burn marks. Okay. That is interesting. Anyway, we'll get off the subject of burning down White Houses in the chat, please. I take zero responsibility for my chat declaring that that is a thing. That's it. I'm really intrigued by this. I'm totally going to go look this up. Australian history is just way too dark. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go look that up. That's pretty cool. Learn a new bit of history every day. You can never stop learning history. History is important to know. Vex, good morning from the US. Well, good night from Australia to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. I'm as someone with Native Australian history or Aboriginal history in my family. It is Australian history is not pretty. It's really interesting. Without going too much into it, Australia likes to think themselves better than other countries in like the whole terms of like what our country is founded upon, and they sort of like to forget a lot of the stuff that happened to our own natives here. It's not good. We are just as bad, if not worse, than anything that happened in America. No. But anyway, off those subjects, because they're things we should all learn from and learn to be better from. But anyway, onto Warhammer. I see, Molly, you're liking the brood drones on how massive these monstrosities are. They're absolutely huge. I do love how big the Conquest minis are. Domi, you've got some Conquest as well, don't you? I do like the different scale. Yeah, and the brute drones on a lot of those spy models are definitely the earlier miniatures from Conquest, so they're only getting better from there. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've got to pick up. Any bets on how GW will try and repackage the Mausoleum terrain this year? Yeah, well, come on. It's like an annual thing now, isn't it? Annual thing. Primaris Lieutenant GW repackages the Mausoleum terrain, and what else is something yearly. been painting any of your Nords yet, Domir? Ah, fair enough. Yeah, so I got the starter bundle. That's what Parabellum sent me out. So I've got Uga, Stalkers, Mountain Jotnar, the Blooded, dude with the big sword, and a Fenrir Beast Pack. And I've also got the Captain as well. They're called Captain Mini. The Captain Mini I got for Christmas. Wife found a local store that had a model and bought me a Conquest model. That's nice. Oh, Molly too. If you ever get any more Conquest minis, let us know in the Discord server. We have a discount code you can use to get 10% off all your Conquest orders that goes towards helping support the channel. So if you ever grab any more and you want to get some discount and help the channel out, you certainly use that. Nice. Don't know when the werewolves are coming out. I think my next purchase is I'm going to get some spies because the stuff in the starter box doesn't come with like command groups, so I'll probably get the Spies Phase 2 box set along with another Spies character and probably a different character for my 100 Kingdoms because I bought the starter set and Parabellum sent me out the starter set, their like start collecting bundle. So it means I've got two of the Noble Lord, which I really only need one at the moment. Which that was cool though, because they sent me out that and so I'll grab that and just so I've got the command group for my Force Grown drones. But yeah, that'll be the plan. I'll probably just grab a few extra Nord bits and pieces. Probably getting these three armies to 1,000 points for conquest will be my first sort of plan, and then we'll get others up to 1,000 points. So I'd like to have probably by mid-year 1,000 points of every faction in conquest. That'd be a nice sort of goal. Wolfric, hello mate. Yeah, still going strong. We're getting through these models. So I have to get this carrot field up. Will be my next sort of goal is to move sort of room around and stuff like that. Move these things out of the way. So. But yeah, so I guess New Year's resolutions. What do I want to get done? Well, I want to get all my conquests painted up. I want to get all my Elder Scrolls painted up. I want to probably get some of Ice and Fire and 40k and Marvel all done up as well. I guess they're like my major sort of hobby goals to get started with. Monktachi, hello. Yeah, I may make up a hobby bingo. I guess we might make up a hobby bingo for the new year. Maybe I'll put that up. Maybe we'll try and do a hobby. I definitely think I want to keep my goal that I had last year, which is I want to paint more than I buy, and I'd like to hit a model a day. Not a model a year, that's easy. Model a day again. So 365 minis painted up by the end of the year, and painting more than I buy. I do not count freebies as buying minis. I got them for nothing. So I don't count this conquest. Even then, I still think I didn't buy an awful lot of minis last year, to be honest. I will be in deep, deep trouble, though, if the Horus Heresy second edition happens, because I will certainly get into that game. One of my mods are you on? Gotta ban that bugger. There's one of the bots in again. You can't post links in a YouTube chat bot. Nick, if you're on, can you get rid of that bot? If not, I will. Done. Yeah, A for effort. It is hilarious. Like, I don't get why they try on YouTube. You can't post links in a YouTube chat. Only I can. So if I want to spam bot porn sites, I can, but no one else can. Oh, my mods can. Don't let them know that. They will ruin me. But yeah, you can't, like, you get them sometimes. They pop up in your YouTube comments sometimes, and they're gone like straight away because like YouTube doesn't like people posting links in comment sections. You'll find they just disappear really, really quick. Normally before I even actually have to deal with them. Oh, nice. I'd like to get some more Warhammer Fantasy stuff happening on the channel as well. You'll probably see some Warhammer Fantasy bat reps coming very soon as well. So you'll see some Warhammer Fantasy hitting the channel soon, which will be fun. So I've got obviously my Wood Elves, but also got Dark Elves, Dwarves, and Empire to paint up. And of course, you'll continue to see like Age of Sigma on the channel. Got some more Age of Sigma armies I want to paint up and get ready. Will certainly be 8th edition. That's what I have all the stuff for. I also have like all the campaign books and like things like Storm of Magic for 8th edition. So we will certainly be doing 8th edition on the channel. Yes. Domir, we have all 4 of them. I have all the fulcrums, so we can totally play on them. We can actually play the campaign. So, yeah, we're probably going to have a Blood in the Badlands campaign at some point in the new year. Nice. Cast Wars would be really cool. I know we can definitely have some Toon Kings feature on the channel quite a bit. My good friend, Mr. Kron from Aethercast, he has a Toon Kings army. So we will have Toon Kings on the channel at some point. We'll be looking at some of the other. Okay. Ooh, yeah, it could do a Castro army. That could be really sweet for fantasy. So many cool fantasy armies I'd like to try and find and get some stuff for. I mean, there's plenty that like have rules out there that I can just go buy the models for. There's so many of them still have models next to Age of Sigmar. Get a Vampire Counts army would be cool. Like, get some more Dark Elves to flesh out my Dark Elf army for fantasy. I mean, I've got Knights for my Empire. Like, my Empire army is Knights. So I've got the ability to go and grab the other bits and pieces I need. Yeah, I would love to see Vampire Coast minis come back. It'd be absolutely amazing. Hey, don't you be knocking pirates there, Molly. I love pirates. Vampire pirates? I don't want vampire pirates. I want zombie pirates. The zombie pirates of the Vampire Coast. I don't want none of this vampires. I want zombie pirates. Yeah, that's why they're not going to be vampires. They're going to be zombie pirates. Zombie pirates are what I want. I don't want vampires. I want to put out the game that I've been working on this year. I have, I think, a pretty cool setting. Yeah, the brutes are really nice and posable. It's a nice change, like painting some models that are like posable, as opposed to like Games Workshop ones, which, you know, while super dynamic now, do lack that little bit of posability. Just a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, I will say I enjoyed building the models from Parabellum a lot, and I don't generally enjoy building. Yeah, no. I do enjoy a lot of stuff about Conquest. I think I forgot his van braces on this one. Signed. Nice. I do have 100 Kingdoms Force, so I've got to build and paint myself. Is there more spies that I get building and painting next? You got 2 of the starter set, did you, Molly? Oh, I can hear fireworks going off. So there is someone that is stupid enough to do fireworks tonight. With this and fireworks, I think I can hear my doggo starting to not have a good time. So we may call it here for the night. And So I will have to catch up with everyone. Augustin, Andreas, Lupus, Diaz, hello, mate. We are painting some of the Stalkers from the Nords from Conquest by Parabellum War Games. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I can hear my papa starting to cry. If you don't know, have a touch. And with the fireworks starting, that is going to have to be the end of the night for me, unfortunately, everyone. But I want to say thank you all for coming, hobbying, and hanging out and chatting with us tonight. We'll be back again more nights throughout the week from now on, chatting with everyone. Like I said at the start of the video, we're at the point now where the channel is likely going to go full-time sometime soon for me. So that's great. Don't forget you can join via YouTube members or Patreon if you wish to help support the channel and allow us to keep doing what we're doing, putting out more content, putting out more live streams, all that sort of jazz. You'll find links in the video's description down below to them. But with that all said, everyone, thank you all for coming, chatting, hobbying, and hanging out with us tonight. A very happy new year to all of you. I hope you all have a great year, and we'll be seeing you again real soon. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.